And then you decided to take a turn on 2011 or 12, roughly around these.
Yeah, 12,
These
maybe
days.
12. Yeah.
I think it was for the iPhone 3G at that time when it has been released. Then
It was a bit, maybe four. I would say four, but yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I thought
four, four
for
S,
this
something
okay.
like that. Yeah,
For S, yeah, yeah. So it was the time where there were a shift occurring on the media market, if I can tell it that way. Originally, in 2010, when you wanted to take good pictures, like quality pictures or shots or everything, you needed to have a camera or something dedicated for that. And then the quality of the phones and everything kind of started to um, pick up with
pick
what
up. Yeah,
cameras were able to do at that time. So it started by so it that's one thing I remember when we were discussing at that time is that at that time you kind of felt that people were starting to replace their camera by their phone,
yeah, on the
basically.
phone. Yeah,
And so the good thing is that unlike cameras, phone have that abilities to use the medias and share it directly, like to website, to content, to stuff.
exactly. And so yeah, and so we yeah. Actually, the story is that we were working on the second version of our technology because the first one we developed it in only a few months, 3 months, something like that. And we wanted to have something more and with better performance. For the story, we are using OpenGL on GPUs. Uh, in 2008, we had our own servers with GPUs that were so at the time we had to build our own servers. So actually it was one of the thing we we bet the companion that GPUs would be a big thing. We were a bit early, but yeah. And the GPUs in the phone at the same time were getting more and more powerful. So we developed the second version of the technology for the servers, but we realized that it was running quite well on the phone at the time. And of course, we were seeing each generation of phone to growing in performance. So we started to wonder what if we could put the technology on a phone. And actually, our first tests were quite convincing, especially because you do everything on the phone, um, opposed to our competition that were doing video editing on the phone, but the real video editing was done on the cloud. So it changed everything to be able to do everything on the phone because it was very snappy. You could almost play with your video, creating your edit. So that's why we went to a B2B company to mobile company. In 2012, we started the development, and I think the app was released on December 2013, something like that. And at, it started to be quite a wild ride. You, you were there at the time.
I remember.
It was something.
Yeah, it was definitely something. So the good thing is that the replay, that's the name of the app,
Uh,
was shortening that bandwidth part because you were having the media directly on the phone and the technology was running locally on the phone, meaning that
yeah,
if you travel, then you can use the app without having to upload the media somewhere. At that time, it was 3G. So even if it was still super fast, like uploading videos or photos that were qualitatively improving. So it means also that the size of the media were bigger and bigger on the phone. Like being able to shortcut the bandwidth usage and doing the montage directly on the phone, on the device, made it super fast to iterate and say, okay, this is the first version of your montage. Oh no, I don't like it. Let's do another one. So just one tap, and then we were able to reproduce a new version of the video right away without the user having to wait for anything. I just wanted to like I know what is a GPU and a CPU, but maybe it could be interesting to explain to the audience what's the difference between those, and why at that time and why now it's like a big thing. Like everybody is talking about GPU right now. Can you like, you're way more technical than I am. So
Yeah, just in a few words, actually, the CPU is a classical part of a computer. It exists since the very beginning of computers. And GPU, the G is for graphics. It's a graphics processing unit. And when it appeared, it was meant to accelerate graphic operation. So basically drawing geometric shapes on your screen. And each year it became more and more powerful. And the main difference between a GPU and a CPU is the parallel part, because when you are doing graphics, a lot of things can be done at the same time, whereas the CPU can do mostly one thing at a time. And so the raw compute power in a GPU is just huge. And today, for example, GPUs are used for machine learning and AI, because AI require a lot of computation, and a lot of those computation are parallel. So back in 2008, it was, and a bit before, a lot of people were trying to use it to create graphics because it was the main usage, but a lot of people were starting to use it to do something else, for example, simulation, machine learning, and that kind of thing. And the same thing occurred on mobile. At first, they were only CPUs, but after a short time, there were GPUs too. And it's a part that make possible to have great games, for example, on mobile. And nowadays, there are even specialized units that are used for neural processing, for especially on iOS. You On iPhone, you have these parallel units that are used to compute graphics and compute all things about AI. Uh, um,
but
so
but
that's the difference between.
in 2011 or 2012, we didn't talked about any AI or that times.
Yeah. Actually, only a few people were talking about it, and nobody was talking about it on mobile, because we are still processing the thing. But actually, yeah, I mentioned a lot of things about technology, but I think a large part of the success of the app was the product design. And so the technology was important, but the way the app was done. So we are very talented iOS developers, just like you. But we have too some art and graphic designer that were very, very good. And we worked a lot about the experience of the user, and especially to make sure that the user could create very quickly his video without thinking about all the details. So automation was something we introduced very early in the app. With time and with the more power available on the mobile, we started to do a bit of AI to identify people in pictures, so we could crop the picture in the right way to find the horizon on a pictures. We could special effects and that kind of thing. So automation and yeah, making sure the interface was very simple, very intuitive, was of course very important in the success of the app.
Yeah, because that's one thing we were discussing before going into that CPU and GPU thing, is that by shorten the bandwidth, we were shortening the time to create the videos, and we kind of introduced the automagic phase, like, because you were able to do it on the phone directly, then it means that you are also, I mean, it was a good opportunity to take decision in terms of designs and like yeah, decision automatically. I remember about ducking the music with videos clips. where you were able to listen to people talking in a video, but still have the music that lowers automatically, and then having synchronizing the shots on the music
The
directly.
music.
So it was a good opportunity for like the app to do a lot of things by itself, and it was pretty unique. Like there were no other app doing the same thing at that time, which eventually led Stupeflix to be discovered by Apple somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was a big turning point in terms of visibility. We were featured in a keynote by Apple, but even before that, we were championed internally by some people at Apple, and so we were featured a lot in the App Store. Of course, the number of downloads grew quite quickly after that. And yeah, the peak point was the keynote where I think this day we had something like 140,000 downloads this single day, so it was quite a thing.